Good evening. Thanks for being with us. Now at 9. September is Suicide Prevention Month. What one organization is doing to give year-round support.
Electric scooters have become a way around for some students. Find out how the company is trying to prevent possible misuse.
A woman who police say is the girlfriend of a mistakenly released inmate has been arrested. What her charges are.
Auto workers in the UAW on strike in Alabama. What changes they're asking for.
Our dry conditions are continuing over the next few days. I'll have your next rain chance as we get into the next week.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Anna Drake.
And I'm Luke Barnes. As Suicide Prevention Awareness Month nears an end, the organization A Better Way is reminding people that help is around year-round.
NewsLink Indiana's Lauren Burrish joins us now with the services they provide to the community and Ball State.
After the suicide hotline 988 was introduced in the nation, A Better Way became a hotline for 56 counties in Indiana. According to their annual report, A Better Way received over 2,500 calls related to suicide from 2022 to 2023 on the hotline. A Better Way provides emotional and physical support to those in need. And if people are scared to dial the hotline, Lenora wants people to feel safe on the line.
Call, and that's a professional that wants to help you. So I would just say, like, these are people who are empathetic, who have a heart. There is somebody out there that loves you and somebody out there that wants to stand beside you. We all have that person, even if we aren't clear-headed enough to see it. So.
A Better Way also works with BSU. They are the crisis hotline after business hours, or just when anyone needs help.
Get into my Bible, I like to take some time away from people.
I normally talk to a close friend or my parents.
For more information, visit abetterwaymuncie.org.
There are many different ways to get to class, dining halls, and more locations around campus. One popular mode of transportation has been electric scooters. Riders are able to rent Morel's rental scooters to ride around campus limits, though price of the rides depends on the distance. NewsLink Indiana spoke to students about this addition, and some felt that the scooters were being left carelessly around campus, blocking sidewalks or limiting the availability of transport for others. Ronald Morel, CEO of Morel Scooters, has a plan in place to prevent this misuse altogether.
So right now we do have that technology that shows where every scooter is located at all times. But one technology that we're currently investing in and thinking about adding is a valid ID to be able to drive the scooters.
Morel scooters can be found at parking spots near Botswan and the library. It's a beautiful day to drive one of those scooters. Low 80s, nice breeze.
I've been seeing a lot of them out.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a good day for it.
Lance, tell us a little more about that weather.
Yeah, hey, today was a great day to go out on scooters with weather. It's been dry for the past few days. Still some pretty good weather for actually going out and actually using those scooters. Our temperatures right now are 70 degrees in Muncie, 74 degrees in Indianapolis, 67 degrees in Terre Haute, 69 degrees in Lafayette. Our high temperature today was 83 degrees. Our average high, 82 degrees. That's not quite right. So we were above average for our high temperature today. But we are expecting to cool down as we get in towards the weekend, but still remain dry. And I'll have the update coming up later on in the show.
A woman who police say is the girlfriend of an inmate who was mistakenly released from an Indiana detention center has been arrested. 29-year-old Desiree Oliver is charged with assisting a criminal in the disappearance of a murder suspect, Kevin Mason. Mason walked out of an adult detention center in Marion County on September 13th. Due to what the sheriff's office calls a faulty record review by civilian staff. Authorities say Mason called Oliver to pick him up after he was set free. According to the Marion County Sheriff's Office, 2 employees connected with error have been fired. Jail records show that Oliver remained held without bond early this morning. There is no attorney or court date listed in the records.
For the first time, Alex Murdaugh has pleaded guilty to a crime. In court today, a U.S. district judge accepted and signed a plea agreement for nearly 24 federal fraud and money laundering charges. Murdaugh said he wanted his son to see him take responsibility for his actions. He was a personal injury lawyer who was accused of stealing millions of dollars from his clients. The agreement does not have a sentence recommendation included in it. Murdaugh is already serving 2 life sentences for the 2021 murders of his wife and son.
Russia launching fresh strikes on Ukraine, including on infrastructure, causing damage to power facilities in the west and center of the country. The attacks following Ukrainian President's stirring speech to the United Nations General Assembly. Zelensky visited Washington today as he continues to campaign for increased support in the war against Russia. Amanda Sansoni is in Washington with the latest.
Ukraine attacked overnight, enduring a barrage of fresh missile strikes launched by Russia, some targeting energy facilities for the first time in months, underscoring the urgency of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Washington Thursday as he makes his case for more assistance.
Today I'm in Washington to strengthen our coalition to defend Ukrainian children, our families, our homes, freedom and democracy.
President Joe Biden unveiling a new package of military assistance in his meeting with Zelensky.
We supported just and lasting peace, one that respects Ukrainian sovereignty and its territorial integrity.
While the aid has bipartisan support in the Senate,
I'm totally committed to support Ukraine until we win this war.
It's an investment in our own direct interests.
the entreaty for relief comes amid a bitter government funding fight in the House, where Republicans are sharply divided on a number of issues, including Ukraine.
There's no money in the House right now for Ukraine.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy refusing to pledge more funds as he faces a rebellion from GOP hardliners.
Is Zelensky elected to Congress? Is he our president? I don't think I have to commit anything.
The U.S. federal government is poised to shut down by the end of the month if Congress can't reach a budget deal, which could be detrimental to Ukraine's war efforts, disrupting the flow of financial and weapons assistance, as well as critical training for Ukrainian troops. The message and need, according to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, is clear.
Mr. Zelensky said, if we don't get the aid, we will lose the war. That's a quote from him.
In Washington, I'm Amanda Sansoni.
Hardline House Republicans have rejected a defense spending bill. In a 216 to 212 vote today, House lawmakers decided against a rule that would have allowed debate on the bill. Speaker Kevin McCarthy appeared to be frustrated after the vote, slamming Republicans who want to, quote, burn the place down. The vote comes as lawmakers fight to avoid a looming government shutdown. However, opposition from hardliners has also plagued efforts by Republican leadership to unify behind a plan to fund the government. Lawmakers now only have 9 days to reach agreement on a budget resolution.
Auto workers in Alabama are now joining the United Auto Workers strike. 190 workers are now on strike against ZF Chassis Systems, a Mercedes-Benz supplier in Tuscaloosa. They're asking for better wages and better benefits. Employees say they make a key component of Mercedes-Benz cars and they deserve more. Neither ZF Chassis Systems nor Mercedes-Benz have responded to a request for comment about the Alabama strike.
With thousands of migrants crossing the borders into the U.S., resources are being stretched. A state of emergency was declared by the mayor in Eagle Pass, Texas, as the surge of migrants crossing the border continues. Also in response to the surge, the Defense Department is deploying more than 800 new active duty personnel to the U.S.-Mexico border. The Biden administration is providing humanitarian relief for Venezuelans by issuing more work permits. In the meantime, U.S. Customs and Border Protection is temporarily suspending traffic at the Texas border crossing to help the U.S. Border Patrol take migrants into custody.
Coming up, new claims for unemployment benefits, find out what economists are expecting.
Plus, students at Ball State got to explore housing options at the annual housing fair. Next.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
New claims for unemployment benefits tumbled last week to the lowest level since January. The Department of Labor says there were 201,000 initial claims for unemployment insurance for the week ending September 16th. That's a $20,000 claim drop from the prior week's level of 221,000. Weekly jobless claims remain below historical and pre-pandemic averages, showing the strength of the market.
500,000 children and families have their Medicaid coverage back after many states improperly terminated their enrollment. Late last month, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services told every state and territory to check their systems and make sure that they were evaluating each member of the household individually. At issue is the state's use of existing data to automatically determine the eligibility of certain Medicaid recipients. The move comes as they review all their enrollees' qualifications after a 3-year COVID-19 pandemic pause. Some states were considering entire families as a whole without taking into account that the household income thresholds for children are higher. Unpaid medical bills could soon be wiped from credit reports. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is considering a proposal barring credit companies from including that type of debt on Americans' credit cards. Credit reports. The agency director said medical bills are often mistakes due to issues with insurance and coverage, and should not impact credit scores or the ability to receive a loan. The CFPB wants input from small businesses that might be affected before the rule is proposed next year. Last year, the Biden administration laid out a 4-point plan to help consumers with the deal of the burden of medical debt. Home prices rose last month as markets continue to experience low inventory. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median price for existing homes in August was $407,000. That's nearly 4% higher than a year ago. This is the second month of rising home prices. With low inventory, buyers are competing for the few homes available in their local market. The number of completed sales also dropped in August compared to July.
Ball State students got the chance to look at a variety of housing options at the housing fair yesterday. Around 15 housing companies, ranging from houses to apartments, were at the fair. This allowed students to look at the option of living off campus without going to each individual leasing office. Along with visiting the companies, students had the chance to enter a raffle and get swag.
We are dry right now, and we're going to expect to actually stay dry over the next few days. We are trending towards below average for our rain totals. I'll show you when to expect your next rain chance coming up.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking,
isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other,
On a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Tonight was the 9th semi-annual Muncie Bridge Dinner. People from around the community gathered at Washington Street Bridge for local food, vendors, music, and kayaking. This event began in September of 2017 and has been growing ever since. Author Peter Kogiyama spoke in Muncie that spring and gave the idea of a city dinner to encourage a feeling of community. These events were postponed for 2 years due to the pandemic. We saw the first dinner come back in the spring of 2022. Krista Flynn, Bridge Dinner Committee member, said.
It means a lot to me personally that everyone from the community can get together and have a beautiful evening.
For more information, go to muncieneighborhoods.org/bridge dinner. And what great weather for all these Ball State events. Lance, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, today was a great day to actually go out and kayak, be a part of that whole event. Radar right now showing that we are pretty much as dry as the Mojave Desert right now. Zooming out, can't really see much across our entire area. But if you look into north and central Illinois and even parts of western Indiana, there are some showers off from a weak disturbance. The unfortunate news for those who want that rain, we won't be seeing that enter our area. It should be dissipating by the time it gets towards us. Further off to the west in the Great Plains, they're seeing some severe thunderstorms that will not be impacting us, unfortunately, at least in terms of the rain. Our drought monitor has been upgraded, at least parts of Muncie and north and west has been upgraded to a moderate drought. Take a look at this in Muncie. We are 1.79 inches below our expected rainfall total, so it's been very dry, and unfortunately, we expect to stay dry over the next few days. Take a look at our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Right now, we are trending towards below average from September 27th to October 1st, so make sure to water those plants. Make sure to find a way to keep the grounds hydrated whenever you need to keep, like say your grass, you don't want to have that brown out in case if that ends up doing that. Now, something that's actually popped up earlier today was potential tropical cyclone 16. This actually formed a few hundred miles off the east coast. Now, this is actually expected to form into a tropical cyclone, a tropical storm overnight tonight. And as it makes its way towards the east coast, it's expected to make landfall somewhere along the coast of North Carolina, where tropical storm warnings have been issued, and they will be moving on its way through the eastern seaboard towards New England. Fortunately, we won't be seeing any rain from that either, so we're really just sitting here all alone wanting some rain, but we're really not going to be getting it over the next couple days. Tonight, our low will be around 59 degrees in Muncie, calm east winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and another dry night ahead. Now, tomorrow, great for golfing, but in terms of rain, that's still pretty lacking. 60 degrees at around 8, 76 at noon. 83 degrees at 5 with southeast winds at about 5 to 10 as we go throughout the day. Taking a look at your mid-7 day forecast, our temperatures start to drop as we get towards the later part of the week, but in terms of our rain chances, they're still pretty slim. Take a look at that 7 day forecast. Our first day of fall is 79 degrees, sunny skies, so that's pretty good. 79 degrees for Sunday, 75 to start next week for Monday, 74 for Tuesday, 73 for Wednesday. We do still have some slight rain chances then, but they're very minimal, unfortunately. But when we get to Thursday, those sunny skies return to 76 degrees. So definitely going to be bringing out a watering can over the next few days because my flowers, or whatever I have of flowers, I have no flowers, but I know my parents would definitely want to pull out the watering can.
Oh yeah, my family's definitely big in gardening as well.
Yeah, if I had flowers, I'd want some rain this week, that is for sure.
Yeah.
It's disappointing that we won't be seeing that.
Yeah. One Ball State squad looks to file another match into the column, and one Ball State club is back in action. And this and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jace Miller with sports. Ball State women's soccer faces off today against the Miami of Ohio Redhawks. After a loss last week to Butler, the Cards are in search of a bounce-back performance today against their conference rival. The Cardinals start the match off with a bang and a goal by Avery Finchel, her 5th of the season. To open up the second half, Caitlin Frazier finds the back of the net to put the Cardinals up 2-0. At the 55-minute mark, the Redhawks respond with a score to make it a one-score game. In the final minutes, a goal by freshman Annika Klaus effectively put the game away as the Cards file this one into the win column 3-1. Head coach Josh Reif praises his veterans on their ability to overcome adversity.
I will not make one pass, I will not take one shot and score a goal, right? I mean, it falls squarely on the players, right? And again, some of our veterans who have been there, we talk about all the time during the senior game of just, we have a group that's been to 2 conference finals in the last 3 years, so like they're experienced, they've seen a lot, and I think that they understand how to ride through some of the adversity that happens in every game.
Ball State will hit the road to challenge Eastern Michigan on Sunday at 1 p.m. To pass it over to Worthen Arena, Ball State women's volleyball takes on the Central Michigan Chippewas in the first of a 2-day doubleheader tonight for their first look at MACtion. The Cards slink into the contest with a troublesome 3-8 record through their non-conference portion of the year. On the opposite side of the net, the Chippewas stride into Worthen 6-6 on the season. But it is the Cardinals who prevail tonight in a 3-0 sweep of Central Michigan to find their first win in MAC play. The Cardinals battle the Chippewas once again tomorrow at 6 p.m. in Worthen Arena. To toss it over to the field, Ball State Club Ultimate Frisbee is in the midst of another season. The Cardinals opened this year's campaign this past weekend after earning a 3-4 record at the Illinois State Tournament. The squad, led by captains Kelson Bartley and Luke Titus, looked to start the year off right with a mix of seasoned players and a sizable amount of newcomers making up the group. The Cards veterans look to not only improve their skills as the season progresses, but toss the club's new Ultimate Frisbee players some knowledge and get them caught up to speed.
We practice 3 days a week. We're learning new offenses and defenses. We're also getting new guys, lots of reps with the Frisbee. But yeah, just getting a lot of new guys this year and bringing back a lot of old guys from last year as well.
Ball State Ultimate Frisbee will continue their season with a tournament at Kentucky on October 6th. To keep it on the field, Ball State field hockey is set to take on the Central Michigan Chippewas at home tomorrow afternoon. The Cardinals head into the matchup 3-4 on the year, but are flying high off 3 straight wins, their latest against St. Louis. On the opposing sideline, Central Michigan sits at 1-5 on the season and moves into the contest on an abysmal 5-game losing streak. Their last 4 all blowout shutouts. The match is set to begin at 2 p.m. in the Breitner Sports Complex as the Cards look to continue this streak. And talking about Ultimate Frisbee, going back to that, Luke, don't you have experience with some Frisbee play?
You know, I did grow up playing a little Ultimate Frisbee in the backyard. I'm very proud of the moss and the highlight reels that I've been able to put my friends on the Ultimate Frisbee field.
Yeah, it looks like they all just have a lot of fun out there.
It's a great time. After the break, Corey Shaw has a look at your campus coverage. And we have one final check at weather.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. My name is Corey Shaw, and this is your campus coverage. Sustaining momentum for student success, equity, and change is the goal of the 2023 Student Success Summit. Today marks the end of the 2-day insightful 2023 Student Success Summit. Attendees spent the day immersed in innovative workshops at the Emmons Auditorium and at the Student Center. Yesterday, we heard from keynote speaker Dr. Tia Brown McNair, whose inspiring messages about student diversity, equity, and change still resonates. I was able to ask Vice Provost for Student Success, Jason Rivera, on what he wishes students and faculty both knew to improve their educational and personal success.
I think it's really important that teachers and students, faculty and staff, that everyone understand the value of relationships and the importance of how those relationships can be used to help all of us begin to think about how we support one another.
Stay with us for more updates on future educational events and their impacts. So Anna, Luke, what do you think that the student success will be beneficial for everyone?
I think we're all looking to grow, our educators are looking to grow, so I'm very excited. Let's hear about the weather.
All right, we're going to be dry and sunny throughout the weekend. We do have some slight rain chances as we get towards next week, but otherwise, a dry week is ahead.
And that's all for tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.